It was a face-off between the BJP and Congress today over the issue of the Adani enterprises, the charges against them by Hindenburg and the BJP connection. It's an Amrit Kal charge today that resonated in Parliament. Leading the attack was Rahul Gandhi, freshly back from his Bharat Jodo Yatra. He linked the rise of Gautam Adani to his dosti with the Prime Minister. Other opposition parties also joined in the Congress chorus, demanding a JPC or a probe monitored by the Chief Justice of India into the Hindenburg strike on the Adani Group. While the Parliament was shackled with drama and dharna, the Lal Street saw the Adani stocks rebound from not-so-Black Friday, while Adani Enterprises, the flagship company, saw a rise of 77%. Adani Ports closed with a 42% rise. ACC also rose by 17% before the market stopped trading for the day. Now, despite the stocks rebounding, Rahul Gandhi's attacks on the Mitr of Modi was unrelenting and scathing. But do his charges stick? Let's take you through some of those allegations one by one. First, listen in to Rahul Gandhi alleging that rules were bent for handover of 6 airports to Gautam Adani.
अदानी जी को 6 एयरपोर्ट्स दिए गए. After that, India's most strategic, profitable airport, Mumbai Airport, was taken away by GVK, hijacked by using the agencies.
Now let's look at UPA's record. As per the CAG, 70% of the 2G licenses didn't meet eligibility criteria under the UPA. Now listen to the second charge by the Congress MP, that rules were tweaked by the NDA to favour Adani Group.
रूल था कि अगर कोई एयरपोर्ट बिजनेस में नहीं था तो वो इन एयरपोर्ट्स को ले नहीं सकता था. इस रूल को हिंदुस्तान की सरकार ने बदला.
However, under the UPA, here's what the CAG had said, that rules were bent for the Augusta Westland deal in the 1,000 crore deal that had been struck with the company. Here's the third charge that Rahul Gandhi made. One, that there was an exponential rise in the fortunes of Adani Group. And two, this rise in fortune happened because they were the chosen ones of the Modi government.
ये भी सवाल पूछा, ये भी पूछा कि भैया एक बात बताइए, राहुल जी बताइए हमें कि अदानी जी का जो नेटवर्थ है वो 3 साल के अंदर, नहीं सॉरी 2014 से लेकर 2022 तक ये $8 बिलियन से $140 बिलियन कैसे हो गया?
कैसे हुआ?
Now let's look at the flip side, the UPA's record when it comes to the Adani Group. In July 21, the Adhikari government gave Adani management of Mumbai International Airport. In November 2020, the Punjab government gave Adani contracts to supply 6,100 megawatts of power. In June 2020, Ashok Gehlot approved 10,000 megawatts Adani solar power project. In 2015, Kerala's UDF government gave Adani the contract for the Vizhinjam port. The fourth charge, despite all of this, was that the Prime Minister would go to other countries and force them to award contracts to Gautam Adani, and that he would often accompany the Prime Minister in his plane.
एल्बिट कंपनी के साथ हिंदुस्तान में अदानी जी ड्रोन्स बनाते हैं. ड्रोन्स को हिंदुस्तान की एयरफोर्स, आर्मी, नेवी के लिए रीफिट करते हैं. स्मॉल आर्म्स का बिजनेस मिल जाता है, इजरायली जो ड्रोन्स हैं उसका बिजनेस मिल जाता है. मतलब जो हिंदुस्तान और इजरायल का डिफेंस का रिश्ता है वो पूरा का पूरा अदानी जी के हाथ में चला जाता है. खत्म कहानी.
But while the insinuation is that this is a special friendship and crony capitalism because of which Mr. Adani accompanied the Prime Minister or vice versa, it is pretty routine in the past also for Prime Ministers to travel with CEOs and industrialists to foreign lands and make an investment pitch. Because at that time, they are not just representing their company or their business interests, but they are representing business coming into India. For example, in 2008, then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh traveled to Beijing with Anil Ambani, among others. Now listen in to the consistent attack made by the opposition leaders that the Aam Aadmi's hard-earned money put in LIC was given away to the Adanis.
यात्रा में लोगों ने मुझसे पूछा, राहुल जी ये जो LIC कंपनी है इसका पैसा अदानी जी की मदद करने के लिए क्यों डाला जा रहा है? हजारों करोड़ रुपए हिंदुस्तान के पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स अदानी जी को मिलता है।
For this attack, the LIC chairman has already clarified that less than 1% has been invested in Adani stocks by LIC. The BJP has now flashed photos of Mr. Adani with top Congress leaders and even chief ministers like Ashok Gehlot and Oman Chandy. Gautam Adani's picture with Robert Vadra was also shown in Parliament by MPs of the BJP.
यहाँ बहुत गंभीर मिनिस्टर हैं ये देश के राष्ट्रपति का उद्बोधन को लेकर एक गंभीर चर्चा हो रही है। जो भी मेंबर कुछ भी बात करे विद फुल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑथेंटिकेट करें। और ये वाइल्ड एलिगेशन अपना एक सोच के आया है, बिना तर्क के ऐसे वाइल्ड एलिगेशन लगा रहे, ये कोई मतलब नहीं है सर, ये ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते। और वो सर तर्क रखना पड़ेगा। अगर एलिगेशन लगा रहे हैं तो आपको पूरा डॉक्यूमेंट प्रूफ के साथ आपको रखना पड़ेगा। दे देंगे आप ऐसे बातें नहीं दे देंगे और ये गंभीरता को समझिए, ये डॉक्यूमेंट्री प्रूफ दे देंगे।
Aparajita Sarangi, MP and national spokesperson of the BJP, Kailashnath Adhikari, MD Governance Now, Dr. Suman Siraman, political analyst. My first question is Nilanjan Das, political analyst. Mr. Das, throughout the day there were many insinuations, many charges, but where is the proof to show that there was favoritism because of which the Adani group has grown?
So we have seen that it is during Mr. Modi's regime that the fortunes of Mr. Adani has grown. It's a public fact. So what are we talking about? So this is in public domain.
Okay.
Whatever Mr. Rahul Gandhi
but
has
how
said,
do you know it
or
has
the
grown
opposition
because of
parties-
Mr. Modi? Business is meant to grow. As long as it is growing lawfully, what is the problem? Similarly, you can say that Dhirubhai Ambani made his millions or he grew to become the polyester king at the time when the Congress was in government. Does that mean he grew because of the Congress?
What has the SEBI and other regulatory bodies doing? This is the question. Are they sleeping? They are supposed to regulate the market. So when and the Hindenburg report, it gives out certain facts. It comes out with certain allegations. So that should be replied by the government of the day, of course.
Okay, so let's take this one by one. One is of the political aspect and the second is the markets aspect. The SEBI aspect I will put to Kailash Adhikari. Answer this first, Aparajita Sarangi. When you have a businessman in the Prime Minister's plane or vice versa, and then his millions grow, people are asking, ye rishta kya kehlata hai? Aparajita Sarangi.
A very good evening. A couple of things I would like to put on the table. Please give me some time. See, those who live in glass houses should not and cannot throw stones at others. Rahul Gandhi did not remember that his party and his family have been embroiled in too many corruption controversies. And in fact, they have not come out clean so far. In fact, I have a list of about 11 of them right now. And give me about 30 seconds to read out all of them.
No,
and I don't think the Congress
today.
people
that
or
is not
anybody
the topic of the
from the Congress family
you
has
must answer the questions that
any
has been
kind
asked.
of, answer to whatever I say. Number one is National Herald.
No, ma'am, I'll just hold you there. I'll just hold you there. If we keep engaging in whataboutery, ma'am, if we keep engaging in whataboutery, we are getting nowhere. Let's stick to the issue of Adani Enterprises and answer the question, how do you shake off that one image of a picture of a businessman and a politician and then the businessman's fortunes growing? That is the limited point. Ms. Sarangi.
You have just mentioned that in 2008, Anil Ambani had accompanied Manmohan Singh to foreign countries. Now here, let me tell you very frankly, very clearly that in 2008, the first overseas purchase by Adani had been made in Bunyu in Indonesia, and that was the Bunyu coal mine. And 2008, UPA was ruling the country. And in 2010 again, the Carmichael mine in Australia had been purchased by Adani, and which government was there. And in 2011 again, Adani buys the Galilee mine and Abbotts Point port in Australia, and all these purchases have been facilitated by the then government. This is one part. And number two, let me mention here that in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, Adani has gone for agreements with the respective
Indian government that is in power from 2014 till date.
And the charge.
You talk about the government of the day. You
and
talk about
the charge that Adani has actually
LIC.
grown in the last 8 years. I must mention here that in fact not only Adani,
why don't you
the different
lookout
private investments, the
LIC
different private organizations have actually gone up, profited because of the positive environment having been created by the Modi government. You know, it's the responsibility of the government which is ruling to create a positive ambience so that all the businesses grow.
Okay, so your argument is, and Dr. Suman Raman answer to this, the argument being given is, yes, if business has grown, yes, if business has grown, is it only because of corruption and favoritism, or it is about the ease of doing business? How do you know?
Absolutely.
Look, Padmaja, I think at the start of the show, you said, you made a statement saying MBA Agadi government gave the Mumbai airport to Mr. Adani, which is not factually correct. The Adani group purchased the stake from the GVK group, right? And that is how they acquired control of Mumbai International Airport. Now, you must go back and see how that deal happened and whether the GVK group was ready to sell. When they were not ready to sell, what happened? Money laundering charges were filed against them, and a warrant was, I think, issued against their managing director. Subsequently, he was granted bail. He was accused of money laundering to the tune of around 500 crores. And basically, that was the point which Rahul Gandhi was making in Parliament today. Subsequently, the GVK group sold the Mumbai.
But how do you know that those charges were leveled not because of actual malfeasance, but because the government wanted to facilitate a takeover?
No.
How have you reached that conclusion?
No, you cannot, you can never. No, we have not reached any conclusion. Can you tell me what happened to that case afterwards?
Can you tell me what happened to that case afterwards? Because you have reached the conclusion. You said, okay, so you said, Dr. Suman Raman, I am going purely by what you said. You said, do you know how the takeover happened? The takeover happened because when GVK refused, there were charges leveled against them. How do you know the charges were leveled against them? Because they refused to give Adani the airport?
No, it is. No, it was not, because then what should have happened? The prosecution should have continued. What has happened to that case? Now tell me what has happened. Please call and ask Mr. Sanjay Reddy what happened to that case.
Okay, Kailashnath Adhikari, here is proof number 2. Just a second. There was first a picture and now there is proof that hostile takeovers are being facilitated by this government, says Dr. Suman Raman. Kailashnath Adhikari.
Padmaja, few things. Firstly, to answer to Mr. Nilanjan Das, who had said about what is the SEBI doing, what are the regulators doing. The Reserve Bank of India had come out in the open, has asked all the public sector banks to take a stock of their loan exposure to the Adani Group. The chiefs, heads of all the public sector banks, major public sector banks, SBI, Bank of Baroda, private sector as well, they have all come out in the open saying that there's no fear of default, A. B, all the loans given have 3x of security cover, and all those are not covered by shares. None of them have lent on their shares value. It is all secured by tangible assets and cash flows. Thirdly, even the MSCI index, as well as the SEBI, whenever there is an abrupt price movement in any stock, be it Adani or any other stock, and there is no favoritism in this. Naturally, they have an entire algorithm, they have an entire system which goes through the checks, and there is checks and balances done. And even the regulator has come forward and said that they will look into this. And if anything they found contrary to the fact, that naturally law will take its own course. Thirdly, with regards to the fact that photos are being shown of businessmen flying with the Prime Minister, Mr. Gautam Adani is not the first person to fly with Prime Ministers. Whenever there's an economic summit at Davos or anywhere where the Indian business community, where the Indian market, where the Indian economy has to be shown, various business leaders, such as the business house of Tata, Birla, various, even Airtel, they have all accompanied Prime Minister. And it is a matter of pride. To show the strength that the Indian businesses hold. We are the 5th largest economy, Padmaja. We don't have to be shy about that fact.
Nilanjan Das. Okay, wait, I'm coming to you. Let's go in a circle. Nilanjan Das first and then you, Dr. Sumansi Raman. Yes, Nilanjan Das.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr.
Go on, Mr. Das.
Okay, Mr. Raman. Okay. I want to say that what has the SEBI been doing till now? Now you are saying that the law will take its own course. You know, this case has been flagged by one of the honorable MPs to the SEBI in 2021, mind you. So there has been no response from the SEBI. So the government and its regulators, they have all been sleeping. So, you know, the quid pro quo is quite visible.
They have been sleeping. They must be conducting their inquiry. They are not supposed to come out in the open.
Why have they not responded?
Padmaja,
Why have they not responded?
Kailashnath Adhikari. Why have they not responded?
There has been no response from the SEBI to the letters that were sent by Honorable
or the
MP
market
Mahua
regulator.
Moitra.
They don't have to come out in the open in front of the media and be boisterous about the fact that we are conducting an investigation.
An
Dr.
MP is
Sumansi
entitled
Raman.
to this
Investigation get
An
conducted every
you
day
don't
in
know the law.
silos.
An MP is absolutely entitled to
Padmaja.
information from government agencies.
Okay, Dr. Sumansi Raman.
Padmaja, I'm vastly amused at Mr. Adhikari quoting the example of other prime ministers having taken business delegations in Air India One and comparing that with a prime minister flying in a businessman's private jet. I think there is a clear difference. Every single prime minister who has gone to international events has often been accompanied by business delegations. That is part of the job of the prime minister, which is not the same thing. I don't remember Dr.
Ms.
Manmohan Singh
Sarangi.
traveling in private jet of business.
Aprajita Sarangi, please respond.
Or when he was holding a finance minister post.
Aprajita Sarangi.
I mean, the gentleman has to stop before I speak. See, a couple of days back, we have heard Madam Nirmala Sitharaman in the matter. And she was very candid when she said that SEBI as a regulator is doing its job. SEBI will take time to understand the whole thing, will come out with a comprehensive report, and I'm sure thereafter the government would bring that report into the public arena. This is one part. And number two, LIC and SBI have given their separate statements, and she was very clear when she said that the public sector banks are independent bodies and they are independently taking all the decisions.
Oh, really?
So I think to talk about this particular issue, Adani and the matters, I think would be wasting the time of the parliament. And today we had to offer thanks to the address of Her Excellency Honorable President.
Okay.
Now Rahul Gandhi deviated from the central concern. Rahul Gandhi took the Adani route, which was quite, I would say, ridiculous. I mean, that was not the time. He would have talked about other issues. The
Go and listen to the records. Go and listen to the previous records of Mr. Arun Jaitley, of Ms. Sushma
He would have
Swaraj.
talked about the WAPA, water supply, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the capital expenditure, you know, all these
Why
things which
is this government running away from a JPC or a Chief
Abhibhashan.
Justice-led
In fact,
inquiry?
that was the topic. He
Okay.
deviated
No,
from
why
the
can't
topic.
you answer the question?
Because, you know, they
Why are you
wanted to
talking like
create a
Mrs.
ruckus in the
Nirmala
parliament
Sitharaman?
Okay, well, ultimately, Parliament is the place where such questions are going to be asked of the government, and where hopefully the government is going to come up and answer all of those concerns in the people's court, as it were. But tomorrow we are going to hear from the Prime Minister as well. We'll be keeping a close track for the time being. Thank you very much, all gentlemen, and Aprajita Sarangi.